Hello everyone, Ian Doran here for another Behind the Vine. This wine's actually got sort of an interesting history. We're looking at a wine produced with very young vines, vines under 10 years old, but what goes under those vines actually has a history dating back about 150 years. There was a famous man named Camillo Benso, better known as Conte de Cavour, and he was actually responsible for two things. Changing the winemaking style of Piedmont. He commissioned a French enologist named Louis Oudard to come to the region of Barolo, where that was his native land. He was from Piedmont. And he asked him to change the winemaking style because at the time, Barolo was known as a sweet red wine. And they went through the process and they cleaned out some cellars and they started making basically what we know today as Barolo. Camillo Benso was actually more familiar with unifying all of Italy. So he was a pretty busy guy, all about wine and happiness. So to flash forward, this is actually that house. That's right, this was where Barolo started. This is now essentially the new brand. So, as many of you may or may not know, the DOCG of Barolo is actually quite young. It was actually only given DOCG status. That's those fun little pink bands that so many people like to look for. It was given DOCG status actually in 1980. So we're looking at a region that's only 26 years old. Almost knocked over the table there. And what I love about this wine is that, it really harkens back to those days, early on, with that classic winemaking style. Very Burgundian. We're talking limestone soils, south-facing slopes. Another big prominent region of the world where that's known for, and that's Burgundy. Limestone, south-facing slopes. That's a big thing there. And it really comes through in the wine quite a bit. Really super aromatic. Lots of raspberries. Lots of flowers. A little bit of that tar and tea leaf that you always get in good Barolo. But the palate is so rounded. So light on its feet, but at the same time it has body and texture. Really nice bottle of wine. I'm getting some good tannins. I'm getting a little bit of heat, but I've had this wine a couple times before. Sorry. But after about 2-3 hours, it really starts to fill in and take out a little bit of that tannin, take out a little bit of that heat. I think this wine's going to age great. I really like 2006 as a vintage a whole lot. A little bit of trials and tribulations during the growing season, but overall, turned out to be a really nice classic vintage. A couple of legendary wines look like they're going to come out of this vintage too. Really like what this guy's doing. We have a Barbera from these people as well if you're looking for something more value priced. It's a Superiore. It's about 14.5% alcohol. Just want to warn everybody. It's a pretty big extracted style, almost a stark contrast to this completely. But that runs about $18, so that's also worth checking out if you're looking for something maybe a little less expensive than this as well. But really, really, really good producer. A lot to be excited about here, and we will see you next time.